I reviewed Heather's chart. Looks like she's progressing really well with her short-term goals. She's increased her strength, her range of motion, her functional mobility, her cognitive awareness. Even her verbal communications has improved, especially since day one, which you all saw then when she first came here. So I spoke with Heather's family. Their next step, they want to progress Heather to a toileting program. I think that's very achievable as long as we're all on the same page here. How does everybody feel about that? Why don't we start with Mark, the nurse?
Okay. Well, as the nurse who's been seeing her for the last couple of weeks, I think that should be something that's achievable based on everything that we've seen with her so far. We will continue Heather on her regular medication schedule at both 10 a.m. and then later in the day at 4 p.m. So far, she has been receptive to taking her medication. She hasn't been resistant or refused. But some side effects that I think that will be important to share with you guys and make sure you guys are aware of is is dizziness, and she may become dizzy, especially upon positional changes. So when we're moving through this toileting program with her in physical therapy, occupational therapy especially, just be mindful that with sitting to standing and just positional changes of her body may make her dizzy, and she may be more prone to falling. Also, as you recall, Heather is still finishing up a course of oral antibiotics for a UTI that she acquired 2 weeks ago. So just be advised, she has the last couple of days been experiencing some GI distress, and she's been feeling nauseous and been getting sick. So if you notice that Heather becomes sick in therapy, that's most likely the reason why, but do report it to me in case she does.
And hopefully this toileting regimen will help and prevent further UTIs. Is that all you have for us? Okay. All right. Speech.
All right. So Heather's, so as you said, Heather's communication skills have definitely been improving a lot. But she's still somewhat verbally limited. So we've been starting to work with her now with the picture and letter boards. Until now, I haven't kept them in her room. I didn't know she was quite ready for that yet. But now, if we're going to be starting this program, I think it would definitely be appropriate for me to start leaving it in the room. I do feel like she's starting to want to communicate a little bit more with the picture and letter boards, and we can definitely start going over all of like the toileting pictures and those, so hopefully she can start to communicate with people and identifying when she needs to go and putting to the correct picture so that everybody can understand what her needs.
I think that's great. I think it's a great idea. I think that's something that Steph and Seth should pick up and maybe bring that board with them, because
I'll leave one in the room for you guys that way. If she does try, I mean, I wouldn't push it in front of her, but if she's trying to communicate with you, I would definitely put it in front of her and see if she can accurately tell you what she needs.
That would help communicating in the room a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
having some difficulty.
Yeah. She's starting to get that down much more. That I think she could start using that. So she's been using that. What else have we noted? Oh, I did talk to her family. I think I could use to set up possibly a family meeting or something like that. We've gone over how she's been using the picture and the letter boards, and maybe they could start using them at home. So that way we could also be reinforcing that idea of using those to help her communicate. I mean, we'll still keep working on her speech and her verbal communication and strengthening those muscles, but this is another way that I think could help her communicate and help us with this toileting program. So her swallowing has also improved. We're now using the Nectar Thick liquids.
great.
So that was a really great improvement, especially for her
Yes.
family. Yeah, that's about all from speech.
Great. All right. So occupational therapy.
Hi, yes. In OT, we've been working a lot on her transfers. I feel that she's improved a lot since the beginning. We've been doing both sit-to-stands and wheelchair to mat transfers, and she's been doing better with both of those. I feel like she is cooperative with them about 75% of the time, and when she is, I find myself using only moderate assistance. So I think that's a lot better than...
She's definitely come a long way.
Yeah. So also with standing, she tends to only want to stand for about 5 seconds or so, and then she starts bending forward and trying to sit down. So that's also something we need to work on, and just so everyone's aware of it. I can continue to work on these, as well as bring in some wheelchair toilet transfers. I know we have like a little toilet chair that we have, so we can bring that out and use that to help work on the transfers. And also we need to assess what assistive device, if she needs like a bar, a pull bar or something. We have them in most restrooms here in the facility, but we also need to check her home for them to see if she needs one at home. Something else I wanted to do is to set up a training program maybe for the aides, so that we can teach them, once I get used to like what she needs to do to transfer, so we can keep it consistent. And also maybe have the family can also come.
I think consistent throughout. She already has enough going on that keeping it consistent and her on a regimen will be really beneficial.
Yeah, I think so too. So something else which I thought of is maybe trying to work on other aspects of self-care that will help, like dressing, hygiene, hand washing, because that's all a part of using the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be beneficial to get her to do these things on her own to make it easier on everyone.
Yeah, I think
Get
so.
her more functional.
Great.
So that's about it for OT.
Okay. All right, PT.
Yeah, so I've been focusing mainly right now on Heather's lower extremity motor control. I feel like that's the most important thing, and she's come a long way because as we're trying to get her to stand, as Stephanie said, she's a little reluctant to do that sometimes, but because we have the communication barrier, we don't really know exactly what it is. I think it might be a combination of the motor control aspect along with strength. So again, motor control coming along really well. She's moving out of those synergy patterns that we saw she had a little bit of in the beginning. To go along with that, I have also started working on improving her upper extremity control, specifically with her scapulae, because as she does stand up more, she's going to need the use of assistive devices, maybe a cane or a walker, whatever she progresses to, or the transfers with the toilets with OT.
Do you think it'd be beneficial, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but for PT and OT and even nursing, do you think it'll be beneficial if we get a double, like a bilateral bar, but besides the toilet for home, just so the lowering in that sense, or do you think just a sidebar? I just have to write this down I want to order that for the family.
For now, that would be a beneficial thing, but again, she's progressing pretty quickly right now, so we might skip over that pretty quickly too. So
maybe we can get a temporary commode to go on the.
Right.
Okay.
Something temporary.
You can rent from here or third party.
Okay. Just want to make sure she's safe at home too. So.
Like what Stephanie said, I'd like to meet with you with the family members whenever we do that, so we can kind of both go over the training for them, for Heather, for when she's at home and using the assistive devices. And I could also, if you like, help with the A training that you were talking about. I think that's a great idea because she has a few specifics that we might need to work out with them. So maybe we could go in with them and kind of work out both the PT and OT side to do that.
Yeah, that would be great. We can meet up next week and plan it.
Yeah.
So maybe could we possibly, because I could even join in this too, could we possibly try to schedule a family meeting? Maybe you can call the family and we can set up like a meeting time for all of us to meet with the family and kind of have one training session so they only have to come in, one time.
I can call the family tonight, either discuss it over the phone, kind of get a schedule. They're pretty open because they are very, they want to see their daughter get better. She is young, and they, I know that they're going to be willing to we'll go by your schedule. So I think after this, kind of check with all your schedules. Is that everything for PT?
Not quite.
Okay. If you want to finish. And then...
Yeah, I mean, just as far as her, my plans with her while she's here to finish out is when she gets up and she's moving around a little bit better, I'm just going to be working more aggressively with her strength because I think that might be one of the limiting factors in her disabilities with just moving around by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's as far as I'm going with PT right now, or that's my plans. So
great. I think you guys all had really great stuff. I think we're all on the same page. We all have the same goal in mind. I think this is one thing that can really help Heather gain some independence back. If you know, it may take longer than expected, it may take shorter than expected. I was thinking she should still come in 5 days a week, 3 hours of therapy a day. I think she should do an hour of speech individually, and then go to OT and do a half hour individually with OT. And then if you guys can work out something with your schedule where you have a half hour combined PT-OT, maybe grab an aide then. If they can't all come together at once, each day that you do it, grab a different aide. And just show, to make sure you guys are on the same page, they're on the same page. And then it would be a half hour individually with PT. Do you think you guys can work that out in your schedule to meet as a co-treating time?
Sounds fine for me. I could definitely do that.
And her schedule, you think that'll all work out with her?
That shouldn't be a problem.
Great. All right. Well, thank you guys all for coming today. Really enjoy your day. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So toileting, we keep saying toileting, and it just is a little tickle. It tickles everyone.
Tickle.
We're gonna carry around that the toilet image on the flashcard.
We're gonna carry around the toilet.
No, what is it called?
A picture book.
Toilet as well as sitting and standing in and around the toilet. So also, as you
Thank God we're not doing this.
Standing in and around.
standing in and around the toilet.
Standing. Can you
Side of
open
the
that door?
toilet.
It is like really hot in here.
Okay.
Guys, it's
Is
just.
that
It's okay. Whoa! It only got weird once you said it.
Nobody else saw that.